It's January 2010. Two detectives stand in a backyard in Plant City, Florida, looking down at a slab of fresh concrete 30 feet across. Buried under it, 9 feet down, is a man who 3 years earlier was handed a check for $30 million. His name is Abraham Shakespeare, and by the time anyone thought to start digging, the $30 million was already gone. This isn't really a story about a man who won the lottery. It's a story about how a fortune that size comes apart, who takes it apart, and what's left when the money finally runs out. The body in the yard is the last line on the page. We're going to read the whole thing. 3 years earlier, Abraham Shakespeare had almost nothing. He rode along a delivery truck for $8 an hour. He could read and write, but only a little. He was the son of a citrus picker, and he had grown up with nothing. On November 15, 2006, he spent $2 of the $5 in his pocket on a pair of lottery tickets. That night, one of them hit. $30 million. The first real decision came right away. He could take the money slowly, about $1.5 million a year for 20 years. Or he could take it all at once. He took it all at once, $16.9 million in a single payment. After taxes, he later said he kept around $11 million. Now this is where a finance story usually turns into a fairy tale, except the numbers don't cooperate. Researchers once matched tens of thousands of Florida lottery winners against bankruptcy records. The finding was quiet and brutal. A windfall didn't save people from going broke, it mostly just delayed it. Winners of mid-sized prizes, tens of thousands of dollars, were about 50% more likely to file for bankruptcy 3 to 5 years after their win than people who had won only a little. Abraham's prize was hundreds of times larger than that, and it would vanish on almost exactly that timeline. 3 years and gone. Who lost? Abraham lost his life. His mother lost a son. 2 boys lost their father. But here's the part to hold on to. By the time anyone reported him missing, the $17 million was already gone. Now the strange thing isn't that it vanished, it's where it went, and who was holding the pen when it did. We'll get to her. At first, the money did what Abraham always pictured. He bought a house, $1 million home in a gated part of North Lakeland. He bought a used car and a watch from a pawn shop. That was nearly the whole shopping list. Everything else he gave away. And here's the first crack. In plain financial terms, he had no plan. No trust to hold the money. No advisor he had hired. No team. No structure of any kind. Just $11 million in cash and a long line of people who wanted some of it. So he handed it out. He paid people's rent. He covered car notes. He buried strangers' relatives. Around Lakeland, they started calling him the Santa of Lakeland. But money on that scale changed every relationship he had. People he had never met showed up at his door. A former coworker named Michael Ford sued him, claiming the winning ticket had really been stolen from his wallet. A jury sided with Abraham in about an hour. And still, Abraham said that if Ford had only asked, he would have handed him $250,000 easy. He told his brother one line that says all of it. "I'd have been better off broke." The bleed was real, but a slow leak doesn't empty a fortune that size in 3 years. To do that, you need someone to open the drain all the way. And in 2008, she walked in the door carrying a business card. Her name was Dorice Moore. Everyone called her Dee Dee. She ran a staffing company and carried herself like a successful businesswoman. What Abraham didn't know was that years later, Moore had been caught faking a crime. A false police report about a kidnapping tied to an insurance payout. Her pitch was almost perfect for a man worn down by people grabbing at his money. She said she wanted to write a book about him, a book about how everyone was taking advantage of him. To write that book, she said she needed access to his life and his records, so Abraham gave it to her. And slowly, Dee Dee Moore became the one thing Abraham had never had, a manager. She started collecting the loans he had handed out around town. She held the paperwork. Friends watched him walk her up to everyone who owed him money, as if to say, pay her now. Then the structures appeared. She set up a company, Abraham Shakespeare LLC, with herself in control of the money inside it. In January 2009, the deed to his $1 million home was signed over to another of her companies for $655,000. And the hundreds of thousands of dollars people still owed Abraham, on paper, most of that was now owed to her business instead. Now this is what makes it a different kind of crime. She wasn't robbing him at gunpoint. She was using the tools of ordinary business, a company, a deed, a contract, a book deal, to move a man's entire fortune into her name, one signature at a time. On paper, Abraham Shakespeare was being emptied out. The only asset left to take was Abraham himself. By the spring of 2009, the money was nearly gone, and then so was Abraham. April 6 is the last day his phone is used by him. After that, the texts keep coming from his number, but the person sending them isn't Abraham. Now look at what the cover story is actually protecting. As long as the world believes Abraham is alive, off on a beach somewhere, hiding from everyone who wanted his money, no one asks the dangerous question. No one looks at the accounts. No one wonders why his house now belongs to someone else. So Moore keeps him alive on paper. She sends his mother a card, $100 tucked inside. A small cross signed in handwriting that looks like his. Texts go out to the family. There's even a video of Abraham saying he wants to get away from town. In that video, he's wearing the same clothes he will later be found buried in. When detectives finally pull the phone records, the picture gets worse. Every call from Abraham's number after he vanished places the phone in the same spot as Dee Dee Moore. Asked about it, she says she doesn't have his phone. Then she admits she does and claims she threw it out a car window. For 9 months, the story holds. What finally breaks it isn't a detective. It's a paper trail anyone could read. Now here's the part most tellings skip entirely. The people who cracked this weren't the police. They were strangers on the internet, amateur sleuths on a true crime forum, pulling public records. And the records told on her. The company that now owned Abraham's mansion traced straight back to Dee Dee Moore. And there she was, posting photos of herself living in it, his house, while Abraham was supposedly on a beach. Anyone could look it up. The deed was public. Those web sleuths handed detectives a map of exactly where the money had gone, and a lead detective later admitted it without even flinching. They were instrumental. With the money trail pointing straight at Moore, police moved in. One of Abraham's friends agreed to wear a wire. And Moore talked. She offered to pay a man $50,000 to confess to the killing in her place. Then she drove that wired friend out to the backyard in Plant City, pointed at the slab of concrete, and handed him the gun that had been used to kill Abraham Shakespeare. Detectives knew exactly where to dig. 9 feet down under the concrete, they found him. Abraham Shakespeare, 42 years old, had been killed and buried in the yard of a home that had been bought with his own money. He had been there since April. The whole 9 months the texts were going out, the cards were being signed, the world was being told he was happy and free. The sheriff summed up the financial story in a few words. The money, he said, is gone now. In December 2012, a jury found Dee Dee Moore guilty of first-degree murder. The judge called her cold, calculating, and cruel. Life in prison, no chance of parole. To this day, she says she's innocent. Every appeal has failed. Now here's the compass reading. We treat sudden money like an ending. You win, you're rich, the story's over. But a windfall isn't wealth, it's raw material. And raw material doesn't just sit there safely. It either goes built into something through a plan, a structure, people you chose and actually checked, or it gets harvested by the first person who builds that structure for you. Abraham Shakespeare had no plan and no protection around $11 million. So the vacuum got filled. Dee Dee Moore didn't break in. She was invited in to do the one job nobody else was doing, managing the money. And that's the pattern under almost every collapse we take apart on this channel. It's never really about the size of the fortune. It's about who controls the machinery around it. Money without structure doesn't make you rich, it makes you a target. And the most dangerous person in the room is rarely the one demanding cash. It's the one who shows up offering to take care of it for you. Abraham Shakespeare had no structure around his money, so a stranger built it and looted it. If you enjoyed today's Wall Street Autopsy, hit the like button, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more. Bernie Madoff built the structure himself, audited, regulated, trusted by thousands, and looted it anyway. That story is on your screen right now.